What is up, Packer fans and football fans listening out there? Guys, what is up? So, in this video, I want to just talk about some things that I've either been listening to or hearing or reading, just descriptives about the Green Bay Packers defense. What are some of those things that I've heard or read? Joe Barry's not all to blame. Missed assignments, miscues, confusion. Packers defense is terrible. All those things I've been hearing and reading and listening to, just as descriptives about the Green Bay Packers defense. Guys, I'm here to tell you, I'm going to give you one good reason why Green Bay Packers should not panic. And before I do, guys, before I get into it, guys, just take a second to hit the subscribe button. That being said, let's just get into it. Let's give you one good reason why Packer fans should not panic. Actually, I could give you 9 reasons, but one of the many reasons why Packer fans shouldn't panic is Rasool Douglas. Okay. And when we're in this video, we're going to just kind of break down how good Rasool Douglas is. So let's get into it. Let's talk about how good this guy is. So he was selected by Philadelphia in the 3rd round of the 2017 draft out of the University of West Virginia. He earned first team all Big 12 honors with 8 interceptions his senior year. Okay, that's a huge number. Okay, so let's read a little bit more. What has he done in Green Bay? It says right here on Packers.com, he's registered 4+ interceptions in both of his last 2 seasons, 21 and 22, becoming the first Packer to accomplish this feat since cornerback Tramon Williams. You guys probably all remember that guy. I loved Tramon Williams in 2010, 2011. Is tied for number 3 in the NFL with 9 interceptions since 21, right? So finished the 22 season ranked number 2 in the secondary, with a career high 76 tackles, and was number 2 on the team in both interceptions and passes defensed. Okay, so that's not all that he's done. He's also been named the Pro Bowl alternate in the first season with Green Bay in 21, after leading the team in interceptions, a career high 5, and finished number 2 in passes defense. That just gives you a little bit about Rasool Douglas, some of his accomplishments since being in Green Bay. But let's take a look at, I could give you, again, like I said, I could give you 9 reasons why the Packer fans, whatever, shouldn't panic, okay? But let's get into just their depth chart. Okay, so let's take a closer look at their depth chart here. So on the depth chart, it shows that the Packers have Jair, so they only kept 4 cornerbacks on their 53-man roster. I think it was brilliant. So they've got Jair with Keyshawn Nixon backing him up. And when Keyshawn had to fill in for Jair, I thought he did a phenomenal job last year. I really did. I thought he filled in very nicely. So Rasool Douglas, you could make the argument that Jair and Rasool arguably are top 2, top 3 in the NFL as a duo at cornerback. And then you've got undrafted free agent Carrington Valentine. This guy's going to fill in very nicely. But, let's not all forget Eric Stokes, right? I think this guy is going to be a lockdown cornerback in the league, So let's take a look at another article that I read today on Yard Barker. So it just said, how good is Douglas and how has he been, right? So according to PFF, and if you don't know what PFF is, it's a more accurate measurable analysis, just removing the bias while taking into account just every individual play that player makes. So he has allowed a passer rating of only 41.9 through 2 games. This is 6th best amongst quarterbacks in the NFL, right? So Douglas currently has a PFF overall rating of 75.3, which is 17th amongst qualified cornerbacks thus far this season. His coverage grade is 79.4, is tied for 8th in the NFL with Darius Williams from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He has also been targeted 11 times, giving up 7 receptions for only 65 yards. He has recorded 1 interceptions, 2 pass breakups. His support in the run game should not be unnoticed as well. Douglas has 11 total tackles and 4 stops, which are tackles considered a failure for the offense, guys. Rasool Douglas is a stud. Okay, so he is an absolute stud. So Here's the thing. Am I saying that the Packers defense, is fantastic, amazing, doesn't need improvement? No, that's not what I'm saying. Hear me out. Joe Barry, I'm not here to defend that guy either. He is not great. Okay, so he is not great. So Joe Barry in 22 last year, he guided the Green Bay Packers to a number 6th ranked passing defense, only allowed 197 yards, fewest the Packers teams had done since 2010. They also tied for number 4 in interceptions, having 17. I don't think that that's necessarily Joe Barry's doing. Okay, I don't think Joe Barry is good, to be honest with you. I think he is the problem there. Personally, I think they've got absolute studs on defense. I could go through and give you 9 studs on their defense. They need potentially some safety help with Ford there. They do need to do that and address that problem. But the Packers defense is really good. So, guys, we're going to end on a quote here by our good friend Aaron. Okay, so let's just hit you with this. Okay,
5 letters here, just for everybody out there in Packerland and yourself today. RELAX. Relax.
I love it. I love that quote just because everybody, just has, whether it's social media or people, they have a tendency to just blow something up and make something into, that should not be made into, whether it's positive or negative. Here's the thing: the Packers are going to have some lumps and they're going to have some growing pains. They are very young, right? And if this is as bad as it gets, with, just giving up that big lead going into the fourth quarter in Atlanta, a game that they could have easily won, guys, that is a good problem to have. The Packers defense is super good, and we're going to see in this next game how good they are. I'm out. Go Packers.